My husband told my brother-in-law that I'm too close to him and asked him to stay away from me. We had a huge fight, and I kicked my husband out. Did I do the right thing? I am 26, and I have been married to my husband, 27, for a year. I dated him for 5 years and finally got married to him last year. He's always been perfect for me, and I simply cannot understand why he is acting like this all of a sudden and so suspicious about me and my brother-in-law. I didn't even know that my husband was insecure about my relation with my brother-in-law. I got to know about it from my brother-in-law, and I don't like this at all. I also don't want to ruin my perfect marriage over some misunderstanding, but I am really mad at my husband for not trusting me. I always had a great relationship with my brother-in-law. He's 3 years younger than me, and ever since my husband introduced me to his family, I and my brother-in-law got along, and I think of him as my younger brother. It's kind of funny that I get along with him more than my own brothers, and we joke about it. My brother-in-law is very open with me, and so am I. He often jokes and makes me laugh in front of our family, or if we spend time alone, and he always helps me, which is why we are so damn close to each other. Like 7 months ago when I was sick, my husband wasn't present to help me. He was in a different city because of his new job. It was my brother-in-law who helped me and stayed with me for a week. He helped me with chores, cooking, laundry. Even when I asked him to not let me bother him, he just said, "Sis, it's my responsibility to help you and take care of you in my brother's absence." But 3 months ago, my brother-in-law got distant. Usually my brother-in-law used to check up on me and call me every few days, but he got distant. He would come over for dinner and spend time with me when I am alone, but he stopped. I thought maybe he is going through something. I asked him, but he just brushed it off. But he started avoiding me more and stopped visiting me, and I started growing anxious, so I visited him 4 days ago. I want to know the reason. After I visited him and pressured him, he told me that his brother asked him to stay away from me, and he doesn't like the fact that we are so close, especially when he's not around, and he finds our close bond disgusting. I hugged him and said that I will talk to my husband and comfort him because I think he's just as hurt as I am. My husband is accusing his brother and his wife, and it's disgusting. I love both men. The only difference is I love my husband romantically and sexually, and I love my brother-in-law because I think of him as my brother. Anyway, I confronted my husband and he kept telling me and explaining himself how he wanted to hide it from me and how he thinks that me being close to my brother-in-law is icky and people will judge us, etc., etc. I said F those who think about us like this, and I don't care. I will continue to be close to my brother-in-law, and I am disappointed that you have so little trust in me and your own brother. He said he's sorry. I told him to get out and do not return until I tell you. My husband left, but he constantly calls me and texts me. I reply to him and ask him how he's doing, etc., but I didn't tell him to come back even though he has asked me a lot. I am still angry at him for how he's thinking. So, am I the asshole for kicking my husband out? I don't like that I kicked my husband, but I am angry and hate the way he's thinking. Best comments. So, you admit to having a closer than normal relationship with your brother-in-law, but it's totally innocent according to you. Let's break this down. Your husband, because your marriage is supposedly so perfect and you totally wouldn't want to ruin it, expresses his discomfort to his brother about your not-so-normal interactions. His brother respects that and backs off. But then you go running to him, physically comfort him, and somehow that leads to you kicking your own husband out of the house? Lady, what on earth is wrong with you? She glosses over the husband, says nothing about him or their relationship. Then gushes about the brother-in-law. I really think Opie likes male attention. I think that's what it is. I wonder if she has any female friends, and I also wonder if she's ever wondered and tried to put the shoe on the other foot that if her husband was behaving this way with his sister-in-law, either her sister or his brother's wife, would she really be accepting and tolerant if a close relationship between them and her husband? She didn't even properly discuss this with her husband before she kicked him out. She's a ball breaker, and she definitely has strong feelings for her brother-in-law. Clearly not enough emotions for her husband, if she still has them out of the house. I'd put money on that there is an actual affair going on. At least emotional, but willing to bet it is physical too. She admitted to the emotional affair already. But she clearly doesn't view it as an emotional affair or feel bad about it. Your husband hasn't accused you and your brother-in-law of having an affair, but he asked him to dial it back for the sake of decency. people are gossiping, it has got back to your husband, which means people feel that what they have seen is really concerning, and he has acted in a way to save your good name and attempted to keep the knowledge that your close associates/relatives/friends think you are a cheater from you for your own sake. Your response in asking your husband to move out will only add to the gossip, as you have now shown everyone you value brother-in-law over husband. Sometimes innocence doesn't matter in the court of public opinion. If it carries on as it is, with people, even close friends and family, whispering about you, then your marriage will fail and you will destroy your husband's family. I can't imagine how her husband is feeling. If my husband kicked me out of my home because I said to him I was uncomfortable with his relationship to my sister, I would immediately be in the process of starting a divorce. Update number 1. 2 days later. I posted 2 days ago and realized that I truly F up by kicking him out and dismissing his concern with my brother-in-law. And for those who are asking me if I am in brother-in-law's sheets or I got the hots for him, I don't, and it's disgusting. I truly think of him as my younger brother and always thought of him as one I would never cheat on my husband, and I kicked him out of his house because I was pissed at him for accusing me of having an affair with his own brother. My husband indirectly accused me of having an affair, and there's no way he can justify it. If my brother-in-law, my brother, ever hinted or asked me that he wants to be with me, I would literally slap him and tell everyone in our family, especially my husband, and avoid him. But after all these years, I know that my brother-in-law thinks of me as a sister, and I adore him. He stayed with me and visits me cause he is concerned about me, so stop with disgusting DMs and replies. Anyway, I asked my husband to come back and told him it's better for us to talk it out than just stay apart and become paranoid. My husband came back and told me that he don't like how close I am with my brother-in-law. He said that his friends keep telling him that he and his brother are sharing a woman and tease him. I asked him, what does he want? I asked, does he want me to stay away from his brother? He said he does. I said, then I will do it. I will not talk to his brother as much and forget about treating him as my brother. I called my brother-in-law and told him that we should stay away from each other and should only interact when our family members are present and keep it minimal. He said he is okay with it and he has been thinking about it and he thinks it's not worth so much drama and will keep his distance from me. My brother-in-law asked me to pass the phone to my husband, and my brother-in-law apologized to my husband and said he would stay away from me and won't be as close to me as he was before. They talked and agreed, and now my brother-in-law is going to avoid me, which is better than my husband being mad at me and avoiding me. But I told my husband that he better not think about that I would secretly meet his brother. We both were transparent and never hid anything from him. If I am losing my friend and my brother just because he's your brother and known him for years, then I will stay away from all men, but don't you dare suspect me of cheating ever again. I said that he's not allowed to stay close to other women either, his friends or cousins or my cousins, because it goes both ways. I stay away from his brother and cousins and he does the same. He agreed, and he's back. But it doesn't feel the same to me. I feel like he's accusing me of sleeping with someone else, and that someone else is his brother. I know my brother-in-law, and I don't think he would ever betray his family. Even if I were to stay away from him, my husband might still think I'm cheating when he's not around, and that makes me uncomfortable. I love my husband physically and sexually, but I also care for my brother-in-law emotionally because I think of him as a brother. I have no idea if I could have handled my situation any better cause I am also currently angry about all this. Best comments. Your husband never accused you of having an affair. If he believed you were cheating with his brother, he would be divorcing you and not telling him to distance himself, and you do know this. Your husband asked his brother to mind his own business, because you two are closer than what is appropriate, and this is a fact most people here agreed with. And I believe this is why you are so angry, and this anger points out that your husband was right. You may think it's okay and it would never happen, but the way you talk about your brother-in-law reeks of an emotional affair about to happen. And all things considered, your husband made the right call. You didn't learn anything from the literal dozens of impartial strangers all independently telling you that you were clueless and wrong last time. Whether you acknowledge it or not, the optics and dynamic with your brother-in-law were weird at best and completely inappropriate at worst. Instead of acknowledging your role in letting it happen and overlooking it, you are now stomping your feet, acting like it is some big chore to correct your own mistakes that your husband is forcing on you. You've even gone as far as to be petty and punish him by forbidding him from seeing his female cousins, completely overlooking two massive differences to your situation. He is related to them by blood, and unlike you and brother-in-law, they do not have a history of inappropriate emotional intimacy. If you don't change, your husband won't stick around for long. But hey, at least you'll finally get to be with your favorite brother.